একটা ভাল খবর আজি মার্সি আই সেন্টার দিমাপুর দে নতুন আই কেয়ার ফ্যাসিলিটি সার্ভিস খুলিছে 3 মডুলার স্টেট অফ দি আর্ট সার্জারি সেন্টার অপারেশন রুম আর লেটেস্ট মেশিনস খান দিগিনা ইনঅগ্রাল প্রোগ্রাম দে রেভারেন্ড ডক্টর পন সিং ব্রা প্রার্থনা করিগিনা রিবন কাটিছে আর রেভারেন্ড ডক্টর তুইসেম এ শিশাক ব্রা নতুন ফ্যাসিলিটি ডেডিকেট করে দিছে আইবি ডিটেইলস হব
HornbillTV ইতিয়া মার্সি আই সেন্টার ডিমাপুরতে আইগিনা আছে ইটো সেন্টারটো হইলে তো আরবান হাট লাগা ওচৰতে আছে মই জানি পাইছে ইটো মার্সি আই কেয়ার সেন্টারটো একটা সেন্টার আছে সব আই কেয়ার ফ্যাসিলিটিস আর সার্ভিস দিয়া লাগা ইটো মার্সি আই কেয়ার সেন্টারটো হইলে তো নতুন নহয় তাকান 2012 পৰা শুরু কৰি কিনা ইতিয়া 13 ইয়ার্স সার্ভিস দি কিনা আজি ইয়াতে নতুন ফ্যাসিলিটিস বি ইনগ্রেট কৰি কিনা আছে ইটো মার্সি আই কেয়ার সেন্টারতে পার্কিং ফ্যাসিলিটিস বি আছে আর মই জানি পাইছে নয়টা কনসালটেশন আছে আর তাকা লা ইটো সেন্টারতে ডায়াগনস্টিক এরিয়া আর অপারেশন থিয়েটার বি দালিগিনা সার্ভিস দিবলে লাগা আছে আজি ইটো নতুন বিল্ডিং আর নতুন ফ্যাসিলিটিস ইনগ্রেট করা লাগা পড়ে তাকা লাগা ফ্যাসিলিটিস আর তাকা লা সার্ভিস কি দি আছে ইটো বি মান ইতিয়া ডিটেইলস পৰা চাই লব
God the Son, and of God the Holy Spirit. The facility of Mercy Eyes Center is hereby declared open.
We must thank God that God has sent this couple to our region to help us. And as I pray for the dedication, the advancement of the facilities, that God's blessings from the heavens above will always be here upon this. And I want you, as we bow down in God's presence, you join open our hearts with thanksgiving for all those that are laboring under these two doctors, not only committing them to God's care and keeping, but the making use of this facility for years or even for generations to come.
Initially, when we started our clinic, we started in a two-room rented facility, and then we were doing surgery in another hospital. But over the years, what we have seen is there was so much of need in Dimapur and again in Nagaland. So we had always dreamed of having a center where we can provide tertiary based facility in eye care. We have been doing that in our old center also, but the space was not enough and it was not allowing us to grow. So we had prayed for a long time, and then we were really looking forward to having a center where it is dedicated only to eye. And I think Nagaland needs a high time where a center of excellence with tertiary based care with not only we see those things in Guwahati or Delhi and places like that where they have a dedicated center only for eye care. So that was our dream, and that was something that was in our heart for a long time. So over the last 13 years, we have been providing almost like a tertiary setup facility, doing cataract surgery, retinal surgery, and some of the tumor surgery, and most of the complicated cases we were doing it. But with this coming up of this new center with a 3 modular state-of-art surgery center, surgery operation room, and with the new the machines from the company of Alcon and state-of-art retinal surgery machines and cataract surgery machines. I hope and we believe that we would be able to cater to the needs of the people, and we believe that like not only for us, I think it would be a blessing to the people of Nagaland. So that's what we believe. Like, yeah.
Okay, Madam bi ase to itia eye clinic will be center will be bishi ase Dimapur te public kan bi janibo thakibo apni la especially clinic ande jaise bole to fee structure will be itu kan bi tan ekta matters kure to apni la fee structures kan bi kinika ase charges kan bi kinika ase alop koi dibo parbo.
Thank you, Hornbill TV and Global Window, for coming over here today. Mohanla fee structures can actually vary depending for what kind of procedure they do. Most common procedure kurado cataract surgery ase. Cataract surgery kurabi itu duita kisim ase. Ekta do mohan alap dangor incision marina kure itu lage mohan manual small incision cataract surgery kure. Itu kura karne mohan khali microscope need kure aru mohan la itu chutro instruments khani need kure. Itu kuru bole karne mohan phaco emulsification machine ko do itu need no kure. So itu la charges to komti ase. Now your question on whether what is the price? Itu procedure kura time de mohan lens cataract to remove kurina lens implant kure. Itu lens to kinaka type lens implant kure itu type upore ase. Indian brand lens kana se aru itu bahar la foreign companies kana Airtel kan nishna Zeiss or even Johnson and Johnson, and there are so many other foreign companies. So ito han la lens la price upore it vary kure. Ita company bitori bi aru different models thake. For example, high-end brands like Alken and all have multifocal lens. Ito lenses kando dur debi dikhibo pare aru reading karni bi dikhibo pare. So it naka lens kando aru dambishi hui jai. So this is not something that everyone can afford and not suitable for everyone also. So the patient selection is important for such kind of patients. Any poisa thaki kurina itu lens dalibo inaka nohoy. Itu patient do itu lens karne qualify kurina no kure itu important ase. So inaka lens la upore depend kure. Inaka multifocal lens kando manual small incision cataract surgery karne use no kore inaka lens kando because they cause more astigmatism. Inaka lens kando they need to be done under phaco emulsification. Mahana Center there we have a Centurion machine by Alken company which is I should say the best in the world at the moment. So itu key procedure kinaka kure even within cataract surgery it depends. So regularly ini cataract kan ina kiba kura small incision hulebi man ini around 11 inara man charge kure patient kan ge tahan na itu kura kan la hulebi. There are so many other patients na pare na tahan charity mangi na thakya inaka khangi depending on the patient man saina tahange charity discount bi die. So just because the rate is that much it does not mean that iman he mahan charge kure patient do tahan itam diktar kiba hoa karne mahange approach krushi kuile do bishim bakto mahana patient khando kheti jama nohan inaka han bi thake daily wage labor hand to mouth or dependent on other relatives inaka khan ge tahan laga need upar saina mahan help kuride. So earlier we were taking Ayushman, but because of itu payment la issues can delay can bishit ina thaka karne mohan we stop in between. There are some things that are happening at the moment for which we are not able to. Maybe in the future, if when things are better, maybe we will be able to have take the insurance from the government too. So the price range is actually very varied, and so ekta specific price inaka nohoy. If you come and sit down with us and then we discuss about it, then we will be able to guide you which is the best lens or which is the best procedure that is for you, and then able to guide you into the price. So it's not a fixed ekta price iman dam ase inado nohoy. Thank you.
Sir ekta aro hudi bole mun ase. In terms of infrastructure, saisi bole to Dimapur re to sabse dangor hobo neki aro ite apni center of excellence bi khuli kina ase. To apni ala center de এতিয়া কিমান কেটেগৰিজ সাৰ্জাৰিজ কাম বি কৰিব পাৰে আছে ফেচিলিটিজ আৰু সাৰ্ভিস লাভ অলপ স্পেসিফিক কৰি না কৈ দিলে বেছি ভাল হ'ব
We do a full consultation setup. Consultation setup kule aije, chasma check krije, suku bitorde retina an saije, aur any problem azna na igine saije. Iman problem na tha ile do chasma bar correction hobo, dawai bra hoi jabo kule to bishi hola to ini gahi wapas jay. Nele bi bishi hola yeta hando problem bishi thaya. Ajikali especially problem one manu an thaya do diabetes kan aro pressure bimar hora. It is suku bitore retina koi. Retina the full of blood vessels thake. So idu kan phuti jaye. So idu kan phuti jayle detailed examination, fundus examination koi, plus our fluorescent angiography koi. Like ajikali matha de bhi heart de bhi the angiography koi na inika suku bitore bhi angiography koi. Aro suku laga retinal layer scanning kan kurula bolai. Aro ultrasound korile bhi suku karne alag thake. Idu normal ultrasound no ina na. আৰু ভিতৰে ফুটিছে ৰুচি ফুটিছে গলে তান দিয়ে এইটো ইনজেকশনছ কান মাৰবলৈ ওলাই লেজাৰ ট্ৰিটমেন্ট দিবলৈ ওলাই আৰু চকুলা বেক সাইডে কিবা ব্লিডিং থাকিলে নহলে চকুলা এতিয়া ৰেটিনা কত ভাঙিলে ৰেটিনাল ডিটাচমেন্ট সাৰ্জাৰি হয় এইটো কান কৰিবলৈ ওলাই না তো এইটো কাৰণে ফেচিলিটিজ মান কি দে গলে তো মহান এটা ডায়াগনস্টিক মতলব কিনিগা জানিব বা এইটো দে মহান নিজৰ লাইতিয়া এইটো আল্ট্ৰাসাউণ্ড ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰি নে second the fluorescent angiography fundus fluorescent angiography bhi facility available ase and OCT matlab itu CT scan nishna thai MRI nishna itu sukula layers kan pura count grow pare na to itu OCT scanning itu ase aro itu la opore patient kan itu laser cataract surgery bichu time lens la back side letter ahi jai to itu jaba grow gele bi laser lage. So I think it looks like almost we are the only center who is doing the laser cleaning, no? We call it posterior capsular opacification. It to clean grow lebi. Or retinal laser, retina de bleeding hoise, chanda hoise, na? Itu kan debi retinal laser lage. So we are the only one. I think we are most probably the only one. Like we have been doing it since 2013. Retinal lasers kan. Itu kan the diagnostic kan part te ase. Aro ajikali suku bitore bleeding hoise. Mainly bleeding kan hoine to for reasons especially like either konja diabetes hypertension TB and the sukula TB and the Russian puti jai to suku bidor injection marubule like monthly ne 3 bar ini kana idu kan facility I think this is our only center where I think it is available in Dimapur puila the manu bishi to still people go and puila the bishi to ini facility to Guwahati de thake but still now this facility was there for the last year. Many patients have availed our service, retinal service na. Aro itu surgery de gule ita mohan koanishna cataract pra loi gene retinal surgery na retina bhangishe retina bleed hoise retinal surgery pra loi na ptosis matlab sukul eyelid to nami jai nole suku tera ase squint eye na itu khan la correction bi sob almost yata ho jai nole eyelid to bishin giri jaise itu uthai dibo নহলে তো চকু ভিতৰতে টিউমাৰছ খান আছে না ইনাহলে টিউমাৰ সাৰ্জাৰি অৰবিট সাৰ্জাৰি খান নহলে চকু পানী বেছি ওলাই আছে আৰু এইটো DCR সাৰ্জাৰি তো দে আৰ লাইক আই থিংক more than 20 to 30 procedures which is very common মহান বেছি কি কমন আছে এইটো তো মহান ইয়াতে কৰি থাকি আছে and I think with this new facility I think মহান আৰু বেছি ভালভাবে কৰিব পাৰো নেকি গৈ নাই আশা একটা এনেকাতে চাই আছে হয় so these are some of the things that we do yeah. Itu the retina scan OCT. It is like MRI or CT scan. So it will scan all the layers of the retina. Or we call it fundus camera or fundus fluorescent angiography. So retina analysis the kunrushi the dye inject vessels can in this. Itu the ultrasound suku gane specifically suku gane lagte. Yata to IL muscle 700 the surgery you go the patient kan the lens ki delivery calculation you go or into the A scan right or into the so it's a diagnostic area na issue of glaucoma patients kan itu visual field ko glaucoma patient neuro patient kan na so itu lagi jai to itu visual field scan visual field right into the green laser diabetes kan na kun Russian putia puti kiba hoile itu kan itu green laser ko itu laser mari jado na itu laser room ase itu yang laser cataract surgery machine lens la backside letter ase bolo itu machine use kore. So diagnostic te itu kan ase. First of all, like if I had to speak our journey so far, no, it's 13 years to be precise now. Starting our Mercy Eye Center. So 13 years to sum up. Like if I speak for 1 hour, then it will be too much. So 13 years, I'll just try to sum up in few minutes time. So we will not be able to tell many things, but some of the things that how God has put in our heart and how we have grown thus far, I just want to share that. And before sharing anything, I just want to say thank you to our Heavenly Father for bringing my family and Mercy Eye Center thus far. So it's all because of His grace and His grace alone and His plans and will in our lives. Not for our glory, but for His glory. I believe that this is what has happened in our life, and I believe that this is for the glory of our Father in heaven. So it was founded, as I said, in 2012. So everybody asks me, somebody like some of the patients, it's quite funny, they see me as a lady, female, they say, "Are you Dr. Mercy?" So I'm like, "What?" And other times they will ask me, "Is your wife Dr. Mercy?" So no, it's not. My wife's name is Sharon. So many people have asked me, why did you name Mercy? And I think, still I believe that there's a certain percentage of people who thinks my wife is Mercy, Dr. Mercy. So anyway, so what happened was in the year 2011, when we had finished our studies and came back to India, and then to start our work in Dimapur, we were trying to find out many names, like what would best suit our center. So me, I don't know whether my father-in-law is there, whether he remembers or not, but we all had a lot of discussion, and then we had to go through the Bible verse from Mark 10:46 to 52, where it talks about like when Jesus entered Jericho. So we saw a blind beggar named Bartimaeus. So what he said was, he cried out, and he was a blind beggar, and he cried out, "Have mercy on me." So when we look into that phrase, "Have mercy on me," he was saying to Jesus, "Have mercy on me, and I want to get my sight back." And he was a man of faith. So, and then Jesus healed him, and we all know that story. So in one way, this Mercy Eye Center, I feel that this phrase about the story of the blind Bartimaeus has been so real in our life, where not only the people like that, especially the blind people, like when we went to one of the camps in Pangsha, and last year in Aboy, like I have heard patients testifying in the church saying that actually we have been praying that for an eyesight, but they didn't know how it would come in their lives. So after we did that and people started saying, like they came and testified in the church that I think this is the answer of our prayer to God to get our sight back. So it was like showing mercy to people, and at the same time, it is on the other side, we as a Mercy Eye Center and we as proprietor, we feel that we are like the blind Bartimaeus again, always having faith and always having trust in God on the other side, and telling God to guide us in our every surgery, in our every work. We have always depended on God. So in other ways, we have been the Bartimaeus also, like Bartimaeus, with trying to have full of faith and putting everything on God. So because without our trust and faith in God, like for Sharon and me, there was no way that we could have come like this. But I think it is our hope and faith that has made all these things possible. So the name Mercy Eye, we cannot put like Bartimaeus blind or something like that, but we took the word mercy because of that, and hence the name Mercy Eye Center. Starting up Mercy Eye Center was the most difficult thing that Sharon and me, like we were sitting day after day, night after night during our initial period. How do we go ahead with our lives here in Dimapur? So there were so many opportunities and offers initially from different hospitals where they want us to come and work with them and together care for the need in different areas of Nagaland and Dimapur. But we felt strongly that I think we should just go ahead with the way that God has put in our heart to develop a center of excellence in due course of time. So initially, when we started, we didn't know where to look for place, but just before we started our center, we did a camp in Peren. So thereby I knew some people here and there, and that's how we got a rented house in half Nagarjan. And that time it was just built. And we rented the ground floor, and it was just a single room we rented. Single room we rented with partition with plywood, and there was my consultation and one patient waiting area with an optical and pharmacy. So it was just a small setup with only 3 staffs. With only 3 staffs and Sharon and me. And there was no door to one room, it was just a screen. So that's how we started our journey. But I want to mention this morning, because there are some company people here from Apasami and Alkan people. These company people, when we were training, in our training days, people have seen how we were. So people knew about us, and then many of the big companies, like we say Alkan. Alkan is one of the biggest company in ophthalmology, in the eye sector. So these people, they came and said, Shingap and Sharon, what do you need? No? So they gave us equipments, they gave everything to us without us having to pay any down payment. You give whenever you want to give. And at the back of our heart, we didn't have anything, but we had we had something in our mind that even if we are not able to pay them, at least the company, what they will do is they will come back and take their equipments and go. And if we are able to pay them, it's good for them. So see, you know, there was always a balance, and then there was a hope because of especially these 2 companies, Apasami and Alkan, all the way for the last 13 years. They have been with us. They have seen our ups and downs. We have grown along with them. So there are some people here from Apasami and Alkan. I just want to say thank you, especially for being with us from 2012 and thus far, and even in days to come. We hope that together we can build a center of excellence. Second part is I want to especially say thank you to Dr. Athang, because initial days, 2012, January, when we started, we had this small rented place and we needed a surgical place to operate our patients. So by God's grace, somehow the people of Dimapur and people of Nagaland, I think they have laughed us somehow, and they have put their faith in us that when we started a small center that time back in 2012, still there were a lot of people to do surgery and to correct their eyesight, and there was a lot of need. The need was too much, but we need a surgical place to operate. So back that time, Dr. Athang was more than willing to open his surgery center, to open his hospital for us to operate. And in the eye surgery, we need a very clean environment. So what I normally was telling him was, we will use your OR room, operation room, early morning, because nighttime they clean it, they fumigate it, and early morning like 4:30, I go down to his surgery center and operate. So during my our journey as Mercy Eye Center, we were working from morning 30 till 6. So every morning I'll go down. That time I was living with my in-laws in Patkai, and we will drive down from Patkai to Shamrock, which is in the DC court. That is 4 a.m. in the morning, and then reach his center at 4:30. The patients, they were just willing to operate. So they will be lining up there. We will operate till 10:30. Then from 10:30, then I'll come up to my small consultation here. And then that's how it built up. For the 6 months, we had worked that way. And then after 6 months, the owner was willing enough to again rent us the upper part, the first floor. So that's how we went to the first floor. We made our own surgical center there. Then we cut down on our work. But as the years progressed, no? So what we have seen was we could not cater to the needs of the people. That we could not handle the load. So what we did was we hired another ophthalmologist, Dr. Inoka, who has been working. Before Dr. Inoka, there was another doctor, Dr. Carroll. Then he joined with us for the last 3 years. So we could not cater the lot, so we had always prayed to God for a place where we can have our own surgery center and later on develop into a center of excellence. So this is what we have prayed. Sharon and me, we prayed for, and we really looked, and we are latecomers in Dimapur, so we wanted to have a place, but the cost and the place, the location, it was not fitting to us. So over the years we have prayed, and one day, one of my friend's father, his name is Medozo Zango, so he was a chief architect engineer in Kohima. He suddenly happened to call me and say, why don't, if you're interested, because I've been telling him to give this plot to me. So one day he called up and then he said, why don't you take this plot? So I said, okay. Then when he said, this much you have to give, I said, I don't have. No? So that point of time, I need to make some amount of money. So my father, he had a small plot of land in Kohima, so we had to hurriedly dispose that off, and no, then we made some advance payment. And that's how actually the Mercy Eye Center, it grew up, and we finally had a permanent land. Then we could not build, but in 2021, we finally gathered our heart, no? We gathered our strength to start building, and we never knew that the cost will escalate so much. But I thank God that finally it has come, and it has come into in physical way. So I really thank God also. And then at the same time, not only our clinic, not only Mercy Eye Center was catering to the needs of the people in Dimapur, but I'm so grateful that through the name Mercy Eye Center, we could able to help a lot of needy people in a lot of remote areas. I call it Indo-Myanmar border areas. So I go Indo-Myanmar border areas of Nagaland, starts from Mon, Tunzang, Longlang, no? So the border areas, like Mercy Eye Center has been able to go there, be there, take all the equipments, no, do surgery. And last 2 weeks time, actually Sharon was the one who was doing all the interiors, and I was just going to remote places to be a blessing through the name Mercy Eye Center. So we did around 221 surgeries in the last 2 weeks in Aboy, and then I had to come down. So apart from that, like we used to regularly go to Pangsha. The Pangsha is like in Noklak, then to Longpang, then to Tunzang, no? Longlang. So many of the remote places, and like tomorrow we'll work, and day after tomorrow, me and my team will go to Suruhoto again for a small camp there. So apart from what we have grown, I am glad that God has made us and God has given strength to such a way that we can be a blessing to the people living in the borders. So this is something, and initial time, it was so difficult for us managing our clinic and managing the needs of the poor, because one thing we studied ophthalmology was not because we wanted to earn money, but we studied because we want to be a blessing to the people, to the needy, especially in the remote area. So we thank God that somehow many organizations, they came up to partner with us, and especially of late, we are grateful to the government of Nagaland again through the Social Welfare Department. And I thank God that my friend Wango is here from the department, that through him, not only the Mercy Eye Center, this facility, our work here, but through the support of the Social Welfare Department and other like-minded NGO partners, that we are able to reach out to the remotest places of Nagaland. So So this is what we have grown thus far. And again, thus far, by God, if God willing, we have dreams, we have plans how to develop this center into a center of excellence, a center of teaching. So we are looking forward that all of you will be praying, and especially I thank God for our uncle Tuisam here, and then my father here, Reverend Pongsing, because on the first day, when the Mercy Eye Center came into existence, they were the one who came and prayed. And today also, we remember them, and they are the one to dedicate our new facility. So Sharon and me as a family were excited, and we're delighted to have both of you in our midst. So we look forward that in days to come, we pray and hope that we could be a blessing to each and every one of you. At the same time, do continue to pray for us that together we can make this Mercy Eye Center shine for the glory of God, not for us.